welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature, and Starlight was just out in nature. What a beautiful day in my area. Yesterday was better, but today it was still beautiful. And anyway, I am reaching out to all of you out there. I hope you were able to get out somewhere. You know, some of you have even warmer weather than Starlight. So, really try to make the best of your time and try to make time, to really get out in nature somewhere. And Starlight's favorite places of all is get out in the middle of nowhere kind of places where you might not even see any people, but there could be bears out there or wolves or coyotes. But Starlight does not mind that at all. I am not afraid of the animals as much, really. Where some of us are more afraid of animals and that the people were, not that I want to be in fear, but really I am not afraid of the animals. But you will see Starlight sometimes kind of hiding away from people. Isn't that strange? And anyway, welcome to my YouTube channel. And I hope you're taking really good care of yourself and your loved ones. Don't forget those ones that are there supporting and loving you to be, there for them, and give them love and support that they really need. Your husband, your wife, your children, your mom or dad or whoever is really out there on your side. They're the cheerleaders. Those are the ones that you want to keep and have close. And anyway, if you are new to my YouTube channel, you could find me, and that is on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is at 1990. That is at Starlight. Sorry about that. And that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, if you want to see, not just see, but be that change that we desperately need in this world, you can give this video a thumbs up. That is if you want to see and be that change that you want to see in the world. Plus, don't forget to leave a message down below, beep, 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 and you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Whoopsie. And, whoopsie, Starlight forgot her bell. I set this up so quick. Ding, ding, ding. Don't forget the notification bell. That way you don't miss any videos. Plus, you could follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Ding with Starlight. Sometimes I get those mixed up. So anyway, you don't know this, but right now Starlight is having a visual migraine right now. And if you don't know what one of those are, you can look it up. But right now things are a little foggy for me a little bit. I have these colorful little different shapes that kind of float around, and everywhere I look, it's there. And but it's kind of strange. It is cool when you see it, but it feels very strange. You don't get your whole vision, so I kind of feel weird. And light is just the worst thing for it. So I have this bright light facing me. So anyway, I'm sorry if I kind of act strange right now. It is very hard to focus on making a video right now when I got this thing floating around in the space in front of me. But anyway, I gotta say a big, huge thank you. There's a special person out there that has really been there supporting and loving Starlight, and I really appreciate all the inspiration that I get from all of you, whether you like my video, watch my video, send me a message. And that is what this beautiful person has been doing, is leaving me messages every day. And I really appreciate that. And I really need that, really, as far as being a YouTuber. I need that inspiration. So thank you. And if you have given me a message, in the past, thank you too. Or even if you liked my video or even watch my videos, thank you all so much. Or even subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you all. So anyway, because this beautiful person out there is, she's been messaging me and I've been messaging back. I've been receiving such beautiful messages and a lot of love and support. an inspiration from this person. So she is a sweet lady. So I really thank you for inspiring me. But now, because of these messages that have been going back and forth, and you really ought to check these messages out, is it really kind of got me thinking about some things. And I don't know how many of you have gone to church throughout your life, or what Bible have you read, or what Bible were you told to read, and what church did you decide to go? Did your mom and dad say, well, because I've seen this over and over again, because Starlight used to knock on doors and try to get people to her church, and that's what I was trained to do when I went to the church that I went to. And so a lot of times if I knocked on certain people's doors, if I found out that they were Catholic, I already knew what I was dealing with before they had to say any more. A lot of times when I knocked on the door and they said, oh, well, we go to a Catholic church, I knew what they were going to say, that their mom and dad were Catholic. And, it's almost like it was in their blood and their DNA that because their parents were Catholic, that they were made to be Catholic too. And I always thought that was kind of odd, knocking on doors and trying to win people, by bringing them out to church, because I was programmed, and I didn't know it, a long time ago, like in 95, after 95, because 95 is the year I started going, and 95 is the year I got saved, when I received Jesus in my heart, and when I repented of all my sins. Before that, I thought I was a really good girl, never went out and hurt anybody. Was I perfect? Absolutely not. Believe me, Starlight could show you a list of things she was doing wrong, but I really didn't see myself being that bad. And so, when I went to a funeral, when my old, long time ago friend passed away of an overdrug dose, is that I was learning that Starlight was going to go to hell if she didn't repent of her sins. So I believed all that when in 95, I'm like, oh my, I'm going to go to hell? Wow, I better get right with God, right? Yeah, I better get right with God and confess my sins. And I'm not saying there's nothing, that there's something wrong with confessing sins. That's how we, turn things around and get right with ourselves and God, and to actually stop doing those things when we realize that, hey, that was not such a good thing that I did, or maybe that affected somebody else in a really horrible way. God gave us a free will, to decide what is right or wrong in our life. And so I'm starting it off with this note here, and then I'm going to work my way. But so how many of you believe that, whoop, you lied, now you're going to burn and go in the lake of fire? You're going to go to hell because you sinned. So Starlight did believe that long time ago. But why, can I ask you a question? Why did Jesus die on the cross? See, I didn't know all that information. I didn't know any of that history. I didn't know nothing about the Bible. I didn't come from parents that went to church. I didn't have parents that had a Bible or read the Bible or even said anything about the Bible. I had family members that said their family members were, a certain type of, they went to a certain type of church, but they didn't go to church. I wasn't forced to go to church when I was a kid. So I just believed what those Christians told me when I went to the funeral, when I was, at the grave, like watching my old friend, get put in his coffin and stuff, where, I was like, oh my, I thought all the good people went to heaven, and I thought all the bad people were going to hell. And so Starlight never really seen herself as a bad person, so I always thought I was really good, and Starlight, believed that she was going to heaven. But really, why did Jesus go through all what he went and be crucified on the cross? Wasn't that to cover our sins? Wasn't that blood, that he went through all that beating and torture like he did on the cross to help us so that we didn't have to go to the lake of fire, so we didn't have to burn in hell for eternity and be gnashing of teeth. That's what like, and then, I didn't realize until not too long ago, years ago, I was like, wait a minute, like, and it's so weird because I had family members that, I was trying to get every family member to go to my church, and I did. I got every single family member to go at my church. I got them one way or another to attend my church. And I've had weird experiences through that, It is really something, the things that I went through when I did invite my family to the church building, So is heaven on earth, or some people think this is hell, right? And I really, at one time, really thought this is hell. Now, the Jehovah's Witnesses believe that heaven is on earth. Now, when I went to church, where I went at a Baptist church, a First Baptist church, we laughed at those people because they were saying that heaven was already here, and a lot of their beliefs and practices that we used to think they were strange is not so strange anymore. And I'm not saying to go Jehovah's Witnesses either, because they don't celebrate Christmas or Easter. And I just talked to a lady the other day where she's like, well, I don't agree with that. Well, Starlight, there's celebrating Christmas as far as the Santa Claus. Yeah, absolutely not, because that's all fake, right? But celebrating Christmas because Jesus is born, that's a totally different thing. To celebrate his birth, his birthday, so that's different. But I'm not here to talk about that. There's some people that have gone through hell on planet Earth. And I'm just going to, God put me through this situation as far as being homeless for a reason. And it has been a very big eye-opener. I will have other videos on different angles, what I've been learning as far as going through this process of being homeless, living in my car. But I don't want you to feel sorry for me about my situation, is that God has been opening my eyes and showing me things that I needed to see. I needed to go through what I am going through so I could learn what I am learning right now. And what are you learning right now, Starlight? Well, you know what? I didn't see this before until I got in this situation. So in order for Starlight to eat, she goes at different places where they actually have food pantries. So these places, either the people there either work and they get paid at these places, or they volunteer their time and help the homeless people out. And this is what this video is all about. There's a lot of people that they've experienced a lot of horrible stuff in life, and they could be still experiencing that horrible stuff today because they're not seeing what needs to get changed, so then they don't continue to go down that path anymore. So right now, Starlight has been learning things because God put me through this so I can understand what the people need and experience what they feel, experience what is going on behind the scenes as far as homeless people. So today I'm only going to touch on one part, but I do at another time want to reach out where the homeless people, there's certain areas that they do need help at, which is, of course, all of them need help, because there's no reason for anybody to be living on the streets or to be in a shelter. Now, I know a lot of you might not agree with that shelter part when I said that. You're probably thinking, but Starlight, they don't have enough money to put people, in their own space, in their own bedroom, with their own door, where they don't have to share. Well, they have plenty enough money for all the weapons and the machines that they have for war to kill people, where these people have been lied to. We know throughout history on the news, Starlight does not watch the news at all, but I am not a dummy, is I've heard many times in the past how we were lied and deceived, and it caused wars many times because we were lied to by the government through the news and all that. So don't be deceived on everything that you hear on the news. So there are things that are going on behind the curtain that you're not aware of. Some of you may be aware of, and what I have discovered going through this time right now, living in my car, is there's heaven on earth. Starlight didn't see that before. And I am sorry, I might get emotional right now, which I am emotional right now, is because what I got to witness going at different places that I've been learning about, where they give me a list of places that I can go and get free food, fresh vegetables, and, fruit, like get some canned goods like black beans or chickpeas, or get some salad stuff, so I can make a salad to be able to live and survive, is that I have met so many beautiful people behind the scenes that either they get paid to help the homeless people out, that's one thing, but it's a totally another thing when you see how many people out there, at least in my area I could say, in the United States area, is there are so many beautiful men and women, whether they believe in God or whether they don't believe in God, whether they go to church or they don't go to church. I don't know these people's lives. But what I do know is that they are so sweet. It has been so beautiful to go, and get like a free meal at nighttime and to see how sweet these people are. And they volunteer their own time to help people out like me and many other homeless people that are either living on the streets or living in shelters. So there's people that say this is hell on earth, and I am not agreeing to that one bit at all. Besides the things that I've been witnessing every day, like out in my area, is that there's some beautiful men and women, and on top of that, children. These children from these families are being trained in such a good way, to volunteer and feed the poor. So this is so important to see all this. And if you never been homeless before, you're missing out on the beautiful things that are going on behind the scenes. There are beautiful people that are really out there, like doing all they can to support and to give love to the homeless people. So we need these people. These people are like light workers out there. We need these people. There's people out there that I just found this out. I went to the mission place out in the area that I go to, and they gave me a whole detour of how their mission works and all the things that they do to help people. And I was amazed. It was a big eye-opener for me to actually witness all the things that these people were doing, and it's not a government-run place. They do not get any government money. It's all money that's been donated, and all these volunteers or people that actually get paid to work there to help the homeless people out. So it is not hell here on earth. I get really aggravated when I go on the thruway and I look up and I see a billboard, and today some of these churches are still out there claiming that if you don't get right with God, you're going to burn and go in the lake of fire and have gnashing of teeth for eternity. So please don't fall for that. And I'm not saying it's okay to do things that are not good for us, that is, things that is wrong. there's times that, we might go through something and not even know, is this a good thing or a bad thing? Should I do this, or is it a right or a wrong, or should I do this or that, And God gave us that free will, and there's times that all of us have done something, even when we were younger, not quite knowing if something was right or wrong to do. And then we try things and then we find out, that was not good. I don't like what happened to me. Or, oh my, I didn't know that was bad, and that affected somebody else in a bad way. And then you realize, ooh, that was not good. It's good to have a conscience, to actually know when something's right or wrong, good or bad, or however you want to put it, So the other thing about this world is how beautiful planet Earth is. Here my whole life I've been trying to get off this planet. It is so beautiful. The place that I went yesterday and today, it's beautiful. I took a whole bunch of pictures out there. There's a beautiful stream, out in the middle of nowhere in a city area. It's really crazy that it's out there. It's so beautiful. And it is so sweet, so beautiful today because the sun was just shining all through the area. And, that is our heaven right there. Heaven is here on earth. So don't fall for the people out there that are trying to scare you and put fear in you and trying to get you to believe that you're going to burn in the lake of fire for eternity if you don't get right with God. And I'm not here to say, to get right with God either. If we know that we did something wrong, I mean, there's lots of times I have a person that has been helping me out, and you know how many times I've said something wrong to this person. Normally it's saying something wrong. I can't really do anything to this person because I've never been in physical contact with him, never met this person face to face or in person or whatever. But you know how many times I have said something wrong and I knew in my heart, ooh, Starlight, why did you say that to him? And then I got right with him. I said, I am sorry. We need to do that. We need to get right with people like that. We need to say, God, I am so sorry that I did that today, And it's okay. And I don't believe going to a church and confessing my sins to a man or a priest or anybody. It's none of their business. It's between you and God. If you feel bad that you did something and you feel bad because maybe you did something bad to yourself, you need to get right with yourself and say, I'm so sorry. I love myself enough that I'm sorry. I should not have been that way with myself. I should have, and I know the shouldas is not really a good thing to do either, but I'm going to get right with that. I'm not going to do that anymore to myself. I'm not going to beat myself up anymore. I'm not going to criticize myself anymore. We really do. We need to love ourselves unconditionally, and that's a part of how we get healed, and that's a part of how others can get healed is when we admit, put our pride down, say, I am sorry. I am so sorry for what I said. I am so sorry how I affected you in such a bad way, and then just try to correct it. Don't beat yourself up over it, please. And tell those people, get right with those people that you've done wrong to when you hurt them and you know you did. Get right with yourself and say, you know what, I'm not going to beat myself up over this. You could get right with God and say, God, please help me not to do that anymore. Or the angels, you can ask the angels to please help me to not do that. That I learned my lesson. You don't have to beat yourself up. Don't let Christians out there at a church to make you feel guilty, to make you feel like, like if you're not perfect, you're not enough. Nobody's perfect. God knew when he created us that we were never going to be perfect. But God loves us so much. He's not, out there. Well, God's not a he, but God is not out there with a hammer ready to hit us over in the head every time we do something that we know is wrong or wasn't right or that it was hurtful to somebody else. So heaven is right here. So look for the beauty out there in the world. because if you want to really see the beauty out in the world, go out and volunteer for a homeless shelter somewhere. You'd be amazed how great you will feel when you see how you make other people feel, and to see other people out there that are volunteering their time. So I do have another video about this, but I'm working on shortening my videos. So, whoops. So, this is not how. A lot of times all we see is the bad out in the world when we turn on that news or the radio station, or even check out, the apps on our computers or the social media. But there's a whole lot of good going on out in the world. If you just take a look around and really see all the beautiful people that are helping other people out, even with other issues that people are going through. There's people that are, like later on in their life where they're having a hard time to move around and get around. There's neighbors that are out there helping their elderly neighbors or friends that they have. So this is the change that we can be in the world, is by, like being an inspiration to others and help other people out by even a simple smile could really get somebody a long way, or a kind word. Just say something kind to somebody today. Say hello. Let somebody know that they are important. Starlight is always looking out, looking for ways to make people feel good. Sometimes it's a simple thing as saying, hey, I love your beautiful shirt. Or, wow, your hair is so beautiful. Simple little things like that really could change people around. Look for things in the people and, try to help them. If you see somebody that's sad or whatever, just go to them. Let them know that you see them and you notice them. It's a simple little thing sometimes. It's not that you got to reach in your pocketbook or your wallet to give them money. Sometimes it's just a friendly hello or eye contact, a beautiful smile. So anyway, heaven is here on earth. So don't believe all those lies that those people will tell you, that you're going to burn in the lake of fire with gnashing of teeth, for eternity. That is not real. We just need to, try to better ourselves every day. Don't compete with others. Today, just do better than what you did yesterday. Forget about what everybody else is doing. Just focus on what you're doing. Anyway, I hope you really get a lot of help from this video, and I love all of you. I thank you for all the love and support that you give to me, and this is Starlight. Anyway, before I go, you can give this video a thumbs up. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget, you can leave a message down below, beep, 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 and don't forget that notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Plus, don't forget you can follow me on Instagram, and that's at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that's Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. And before I go, don't forget to check out the playlist. I do have other videos about churches, my experience, not what I read in a book, what I've experienced. So anyway, I do love you all. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.